and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel tonight, guys, to each and every one of you, because we knew coming into tonight's game it was massive, absolutely massive for Barca. The pressure was on. Yes, we'd started the season well. Yes, we'd all seen big changes under Hansi Flick, but when it comes to the very highest level, when it comes to the very biggest games, Barca haven't been there in recent years. Barca have not been able to show it when it really mattered. But tonight, we delivered. Absolutely every player delivered tonight, and it was wonderful to watch. It was a joy to see this team out there tonight, play in this way, compete in this way, stand up in this way. And the goals that we saw, the passion, the energy, the excitement from this team, it was unreal. And the bottom line is, we've smacked Bayern. We have absolutely destroyed them tonight by 4-1. Could have been even more. Hansi Flick is cooking. That we have confirmation of now. And we're going to discuss each and every moment from this magical night. Let's do this. Because even before this game started, there was a massive call for Hansi Flick, and there was a massive moment that had a huge impact on the game, and that came in the form of Fermin Lopez. Now, we actually spoke in the preview before the game. Could it be Hansi Flick's joker? Could he include him maybe at the last minute here and spring a bit of a surprise on Bayern? Well, that's what happened. They were not ready for what Fermin did. They were not ready for what he added to this game. When you look at his influence here in the goals that we're about to discuss, it was a massive call, and it was one that Hansi Flick got absolutely spot on there. Fermin in that 10, Raphinha ahead of him. Those two today combined absolutely beautifully. Yamal and Lewandowski completing the front line. And if we actually look here about how the two teams looked going head to head, because in the end, Jamal Musiala, he couldn't start this game. It was Thomas Muller there in that attacking midfield position. Paulinho did play alongside Joshua Kimmich, and it was all going to be about today the high lines of both teams, because I thought it was extraordinary, guys, to watch the tactics, especially in that first half. Both of them just unbelievably offensive. Both of those defensive lines there were stepping up as high as they possibly could. The pressing was absolutely incredible, and I'm sure for the neutral, it was a wonderful game to watch, but certainly in that first half, it was nervy. There was moments there where we had to ride things out, but after 1 minute, we had the lead. Let's start there with Raphinha, because what a moment that was to kick off the game and score immediately. When was the last time that Barca did that on the Champions League stage? They're coming out in a game like this and saying, okay, let's go. Because it was Fermin Lopez, like I say, absolutely key here. He sees the run of Raphinha. He's on the shoulder of Bayern. He gets into that pocket of space, and it's a really clever ball there, just slotted in behind Bayern. Raphinha then has all the time in the world to run onto it, but that's the thing here, because a lot of the time in this situation, you don't actually want a lot of time. You don't want to get inside your own head, start thinking about what you should do. He's got such a long time to think about the finish. But doesn't he do so well? It is ultimate composure, not only here, but the entire night from Raphinha. He was calmness personified. He takes it all the way round Neuer, and Barca have the lead. 1 minute gone, 1-0 to us. But here's the thing. Because Bayern hit back, and they genuinely hit back hard in this game. Because immediately then, a few minutes later, they had a goal. It was eventually ruled off there for offside, but it was incredibly close on Harry Kane. They work it really well there. Out to the right-hand side, it's a great ball in, great header from Kane, but he's very marginally off. And again, that Barca back line, it was tested. Could you stand up to the pressure? Could you keep everything organised? But Bayern, they really did ramp up that pressure. They actually kept us penned in our own half there for a lot of that first half. They were pinging the ball around. We couldn't really cope. We were really struggling there under that pressure, and the goal, it did seem inevitable. It was Gnabry this time from the other side. He whips the ball in. This time it's Kane on the volley. He is onside, and it's a great finish from Harry Kane. Really was. He puts it back across Iñaki Peña, who had no chance at all there. And that was the big question tonight, guys. When Bayern were piling that pressure on, when they were really smothering us there in our own half, and then they scored, they got back in the game, what would we do then? Would we, as we've seen in years gone by, collapse? Mentally, physically, would the confidence seep out of us? Would we no longer have belief in what we were doing? Absolutely not. Because for the first time in a game of this magnitude, we stood up and we had real backbone tonight. Because as soon as Bayern equalised, it was like a switch was flipped. Barca did respond, and there was a real calmness about our play and a real maturity, especially considering this is such a young team there. And I want to highlight here some of the moments from Lamine Yamal. I think he had some really important dribbles in this game at key times. Again, considering how young he is, how much pressure was on him, he was really being pressed today. But he took the pressure off the team. The way that he was able to manoeuvre his way out of really tight spaces there, take on 1, 2, 3 players at times, just to get Barca up the field, just to relieve all of that pressure that Bayern were trying to put on us. And I want to mention as well, Marc Casado in midfield there. The intensity that he brought to this game, yet again, unbelievable there. To have him running the show in holding midfield there, in terms of winning the ball back, in terms of receiving it in tight areas, he was absolutely wonderful. And then this Fermin Lopez, because again, guys, he was absolutely fantastic. He was everywhere. And a lot of the times there, when the ball was breaking to him, it was like he was 1, 2 steps ahead of Bayern. They couldn't get near him. They couldn't get close to him there. Kimmich picked up a yellow. He fouled him. That's all that he could do. He couldn't catch up to Fermin. He could have easily got another yellow there as well in the first half. And Bayern couldn't track his runs. They couldn't deal with his movement. And that's where the second goal comes. Because it's absolutely outstanding play. And it's outstanding, it really is, from Fermin. Because let me stress here, this is not a foul. Do not listen to anybody that says, oh, this is a free kick. Bayern here should have earned themselves a foul. Absolute nonsense, guys. This is football. This is a contact sport here. He literally touches Kim's back slightly, Fermin. It's a clever piece of play. It's clever. It's acting there within the rules. He doesn't push him over. This is a big Bayern centre-back. He doesn't push him over. It's a tiny hand there, just a little bit of pressure on him, and then he moves away. It's intelligent. It's clever. It is acting within the rules of the game to gain an advantage. He does all of that so well. He then beats Manuel Neuer to the ball, moves it on to Lewandowski, who can score against his former club there. Big moment for Lewandowski in front of goal to score against Bayern, but he did not celebrate there out of respect. But massive moment there. Fermin key in that second goal, as he was in the first. Instrumental. But we weren't done there, because even despite all of that Bayern pressure in the first half, even despite everything that we had to encounter before half-time, we made it 3. We made it 3-1 Barca. And what a goal this is here. Again, you've got to talk about the pass from Marc Casado there. It's a wonderfully angled ball. He just pings that from one side of the field over to the other. Raphinha there is running onto it. And you don't stop him right now. In these kinds of positions, when he's running at you, he's unstoppable. Because he cuts in there on his right foot. And the finish. The finish from Raphinha here. Bear in mind, weak foot. What a goal that is there. He just bends it round Manuel Neuer. And that is a huge moment in the game too, because everything, like I say, that we went through in that first half, and to score just before half-time, I mean, that was huge. That was Raphinha picking up the team again on his back and saying, look, guys, I'll give us more of a cushion. I'll make sure that we go in here at the break 2 goals ahead. How about that? Because when you're looking, guys, at the half-time stats, we don't want to disguise anything here. Bayern were very, very good in that first half. Bayern caused us a lot of problems in that first half. They had a lot of the ball. We struggled to get out. It was difficult. We had to ride our luck and try and pick our moments in the game. But that's the whole point. We had backbone. That's the whole point here. We made sure we didn't lie down. We were never going to just accept that. We were going to have our moment. And when we did, we were going to be clinical. 3 shots on target in that first half of Barca. How many goals? 3! But here's the thing, guys, because if Raphinha thought before half-time, well, I'll give Barca a bit of help, I'll make sure that we've got a bit more of a cushion in this game, well, what was he thinking after half-time? Because the third goal for him, I mean, I can't even put into words here. I cannot explain how this goal makes me feel, because first of all, it's the assist from Lamine Yamal. Again, you've got to give credit here to where these balls are coming from. The balls over the top, they were absolutely crucial today, and Yamal picks out Raphinha absolutely beautifully. But then Raphinha, he first of all takes that ball on his chest. So already here, he's running full sprint at Bayern, full speed ahead, takes it on his chest, ball is bouncing, making its way towards goal, and then running at that speed with the ball there, slightly off the ground. Just think how perfectly you've got to hit this. Just think how absolutely precise this finish has got to be to get anywhere near the goal, let alone what he does. He puts his foot through it and just smashes it in. What a hit! What a hit that is from Raphinha to make it a hat-trick, to make it 4-1 Barca against Bayern. And he's doing this. Raphinha this season has genuinely been unreal. A revelation. What Hansi Flick has done with him, what Raphinha has done for himself too, though, by the way. The mental strength that he's been able to show this season, it's been on another level. But tonight, I think he goes to a whole different level within Barcelona fans. I think now, this is unbelievable. This hat-trick, it cements him here at this club. It really, really does. In our heart, we will never, ever, ever forget this. Because then, after that goal, the whole moment there, not just the finish, not just the fact that we were 4-1 up, but the celebration, it kind of felt as though this is what we waited for. And it reminded me of Barca against Bayern in the Champions League in 2015. That was a tight game. That at times felt as though it could go either way. But Barca in the end ran away with that game. When you saw the celebrations then, like you see the celebrations now. Raphinha with the whole bench, the whole squad, the whole team, everybody together and united. What a moment, what an atmosphere, what a goal. And Bayern, at this point, they are shell-shocked. Bayern here are wondering what on earth happened. Vincent Kompany then, by the way, he made 4 changes at once. He's looking around on the bench thinking, I've got to change something, something needs to happen. He makes 4 changes at once. You've got Thomas Muller there, sitting on the bench, thinking, oh wow, this is interesting. This is not what I was expecting. Well, you know what? We did expect it. We knew that coming into this game, we had this in our locker. We have been working, we have been planning, we have been preparing every week, every game, every moment under Hansi Flick to do just this. This is what we do now. This is who we are. This is what we've been waiting for. And I think it speaks volumes that against Bayern in the Champions League, we were rotating as that game went on. Raphinha came off and every corner of the stadium standing, applauding. You would struggle to find one person there who wasn't clapping Raphinha off. I mean, maybe the Bayern fans. That's possible. But honestly, guys, what a night. What a feeling. And like I say, it could have been more. You had Yamal there putting one on a plate late on for Lewandowski. Couldn't quite get onto it there at the back post. It looked as though it was going to be a certain goal to make it 5. And I just cannot put into words here. I just cannot quite express how happy I am and how happy I'm sure every single one of you are, because this is all that we've wanted, you know, for year upon year upon year. Dark moments, dark days, bad defeats, you know, disappointing moments. Every single time a game like this comes around, you're thinking, is this the moment? Is this the time? Is this our opportunity? And until now, it hasn't been. But tonight, it finally is, guys. Please let me know how you are feeling. What does this mean to you? What has it taken to get here? And where do we go next? I'll tell you where we go. We go to the Santiago Bernabeu, and we are looking for another statement win. I will see you soon, and I will see you there. But until next time, guys, as always, Visca, El Barça.